Tax Tip Tuesday, brought to you by Stadler Company, the tax pros.
Well, hello everyone, and today Lori is back with us once again. We appreciate her so much this tax season. You've been so extremely helpful.
Thank you.
And I think the thing is part of what we talk about is that tax laws are changing often. And as they change, that's why it's important to seek a professional. So can we kind of talk about some of the changes that you've seen in recent years?
Absolutely.
Okay, I guess we'll start with the most important thing in the last 5 years. What are some of the changes?
Well, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act made some sweeping changes that are going to be in effect for up until 25, unless Congress decides to put those into permanent law.
Okay.
So some of the big things with that are the unreimbursed employee expenses went away. If you itemized before that, you were really able to take those unreimbursed expenses like union dues, mileage if you drove for your W-2 job, professional licenses, uniforms, anything like that, you could take those expenses. But that went away.
So no more are you able to do that, and as long as this stays in effect, that's through 2025.
Right.
Now, is that a bad thing or a good thing, or does it not really matter?
Yeah, it's not necessarily good or bad, because at the same time that that went away, the standard deduction was raised, so you kind of still got some deduction.
Okay.
I can say, though, if people had substantial mileage, it really did impact them in not so good a way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends on what you were looking at, I guess, and who you are.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
This is an interesting one, I thought, and that is if you're working through God, apparently there's some things that you can get reimbursed on.
So those unreimbursed employee expenses went away for the general employee, but somebody who is clergy can still take those unreimbursed expenses to reduce some of their self-employment tax.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
They kind of have an important role they play, so I'm okay with that.
There's a lot of special rules there.
I'll bet there are. Now, you just mentioned, though, with all of this, the standard deduction raised. How much did it go up?
It practically doubled for each different type of filing status.
Let's talk about other major changes in retirement. Now, you said R&D stands for?
Required minimum distributions.
And this used to be at age 70 that you had to take it?
Right. If you were 70 and a half, you had to start taking those distributions from your retirement accounts.
But now you can wait till 72. And
That's right.
How does that benefit us by waiting longer?
So if you wait longer, that you have the opportunity for that retirement account to grow a little bit more.
Okay.
And so you can have a little bit bigger nest egg to start drawing from.
Gosh, there's so much to think about when we talk about all of this.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, that's why you're here, because these are questions that we need answered. And this is a big one I'm sure you still get, which is healthcare. It used to be, in previous years, if you didn't report it, there was a penalty, right?
Right. Up through 2019, there could have been a penalty if you didn't have health care. We got the marketplace health care that way. So at this point, the only time you have to report anything related to health care is if you have the premium tax credit from the marketplace.
And that's it.
That's it.
So that's one thing that went away, and I know a lot of people are probably happy about that. And finally today, you and I already kind of touched on this last week for those that tuned in, and that's freelancing.
Right. So those employee expenses went away if you are an employee, but if you are a freelancer, you have gigs, you can still take all of your expenses that are related to you making that, because you are technically a business owner.
So you're just working for another company, you don't get to report your mileage and your use of equipment, but you are a freelancer playing a musical instrument or doing your artistic things, then you can write some of that off.
You absolutely can. Yep.
See, it's a lot, guys. It really is, and that's why you're here. How do people find you if they want to ask these kinds of questions?
Well, the best place is our website, stadlertax.com. We've got a lot of resources and information there, and then contact information. They can reach out through the website, or they can call us at 812-478-2800, and we'll get there, or they can just check on the QR code that's on the screen.
And that's easy too. You can just scan that code right there, right now. And what's nice too is you have how many locations across the Wabash Valley?
We have 4 areas. We have our main office in Terre Haute, we have one in Brazil, one in Bloomington, and one in Bloomfield.
So you can find Stadler Tax about anywhere. Thanks for coming in.
It's always great.
Tax Tip Tuesdays. What would we do without you, Lori? Stay with us. We'll be right back.